Okay, so I wanted to give you an update on my one-room challenge room, and I want to share everything I've done so far and what I have left, because it's a little lengthy of a list. So to get started, I jumped on the wood slat wall right away, and I'm so glad I did because it's almost taken me, I'm gonna basically take 8 weeks to finish this wall. So it was over 90 boards on the backside and then extending up over the windows, and between picking them up and locating that many boards that matched each other all over town with a pandemic and low supply and high demand for these stores. So the lines were out the door and I tried to limit kind of going to these places. So that ate up a lot of time that I didn't really expect it to. And then bringing them home, I chopped them down and sanded, stained, sanded again, sealed. And or other way around, sealed and then sanded again and then sealed again. And it was just a very time consuming process. But once they went up, they went pretty fast just with the nail gun, and they look amazing. At first I had a slight panic moment that they were looking too rustic, but altogether the variation in the wood, like, I don't mind it, and I actually think it looks really cool. And so I'm just finishing up the extension over the windows. I just want to do an offset pattern. It's not going over all the windows, but enough to where it's going to kind of get block out some light, but more just visual interest. And that's what I've been doing lately. And I'm having to just make a little custom shim for behind it because the windows are kind of offset. So it's just a little more, again, more time consuming than I kind of thought that part would take the longest. So I left it kind of for the end to do all the cuts, but that's almost done. And then I have a gallery wall that's coming. It's all artwork. It's just 7 prints, but that still needs to be put in. And then I just took on a lot of DIY projects. I think between just, that's kind of my MO, but also between the pandemic, I thought, well, I just won't order a lot of stuff online and wait for these long lead times. But I think I forgot I had 2 kids, because then I'm taking on all these projects and it's just lengthy. So I'm doing a pendant light and making 10 fans that are gonna make kind of a paper pendant light out of that. That's going to hang from the ceiling. And I ended up having to make a little small medallion that I had to just paint the same color as the ceiling because it's a little smaller. And then we did a curtain wall. I just went to IKEA and got their Vita track that goes along the wall. And so those are actually getting hemmed. Our sweet neighbors have a hem and dry cleaning business, and they took that at least off my hands. And then end tables. I am doing bedside tables completely custom out of concrete and wood. And you will see I have the supplies just like sitting in the room right now. And that I'm looking at my 9 days going, okay, do I have enough time to mix, pour the concrete, seal it, like prep it and seal it, and get the wood done. So it's looking pretty tight, you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but I'm like sure trying. And I get these little pockets of time when the kids are asleep, or when my husband so graciously like trades me his work day so I can get some time in, and that's where we're at. And one thing I didn't mention was one of the biggest things about this room I did that I want to feel really minimal and clean, and putting our dressers out of the room or reorganizing our closet actually was a big feat, because we went down from eight drawers to just 5, and we put the highboy dresser in the closet. Now, I wanted to do a cool built-in custom closet, and I still have plans to, but as I started to tick along on this project, I was like, this is not getting done this time around. So I'm actually okay with the highboy in the closet because I really like the dresser. It looks nice. And we were able to slim down pretty well. We live in a climate that we don't need a lot of really heavy, bulky stuff, so that really helps. And then we just tend to, I don't know if the way we work from home and things like that, but we just don't have a large wardrobe. So that was a big thing, was taming everything down even more so than we'd already had when we, like, in 2015 did the whole Marie Kondo clean out. But I'll show you at the end. It's not gonna look the coolest. Like, my design board was a much more of a built-in, streamlined, white oak closet, but we'll leave that for a different day. And for the sake of the challenge, just clean it up. Okay, so I will come back and show you in just a few days if I made it. Stay tuned.